show you my books. I was spending 10 G's a month being on the show.
Right.
Name me a job that you spend $10,000 to do that. And by the way, let's not forget that for a year and a half, I didn't get paid.
And I didn't get paid for years.
But when I got pushed out,
you were in the bathroom or something, but I was, that's insane. That is fucking nuts.
I'm seeing that I'm getting pushed out, and I start my own show. Do you know what my final straw was?
What?
I got my show going, and then not only was I controlled and pushed around on Impulsive, but then Logan's making calls and directing my show. And I'm saying, hey man, you can't tell me what to do on my own show. That's not okay.
What's that about?
He told me that I couldn't take Celsius. This is a guy who's sending a screenshot.
Ooh, by the way, Jake is working with Celsius. I saw a bottle of it behind him. Kind of interesting.
Of $11 million a week that he's making. And on top of that, we never got any money from Prime, and we own that show. So technically, we should have gotten a percentage of that. I never asked for—
hold on. This part, I was like, bro, chill. He wants a piece of Prime? And I was like, chill out, bro. You're literally like a walk-on character of Impulsive. Square face ass.
For like the way you did.
Somebody actually sent me something, but we had moved on.
Okay, I don't mind going back and restarting. Somebody...
What do we think about that?
Oh, I am rectangular. I am Jesus Christ. It's awesome. He's a Minecraft. He's a Minecraft dandy. Love that.
There's several menus in here. Wow, look at this. This would have been really funny to pull up like an hour ago.
Wait, what does it say?
Mr. Verified. Ian retrieving the nut from the Toon Kun. You wouldn't get it because you're not an Avatar fan?
It's an Avatar thing. Okay,
yeah,
duh. Got it.
You believe this guy? Ian, did you catch that?
Ian!
Ian is just...
what?
Ian! Ian!
What? This guy doesn't know what a fucking Toon Kun is.
We've known that.
Stop. You're saying it too many times. It's
Are you even listening, Ian? What's a Toon Kun?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Olivia ran out of the
get
theater.
the Toon Kun out of here.
Okay, fine.
Mid-movie, Olivia ran out of the theater.
I had to go.
So people are asking, and rightfully so, what was he spending $10,000 a month on? We'll get into that in Logan's response. I'm also curious about that.
Of it. I didn't care because I'm grateful for what I'm making. I'm gonna go start my own business. But when I come over here, because I'm scared I'm gonna lose my job here, I go, Logan, I will take half the deal if you want to put it on the table for my show. He says, I won't pay you a dime. You're here because of me. And then I said, well, what do you want me to do for my bills, bro? I got no money. And he says, go have your rich dad pay for it.
Listen,
that's fighting words, bro. Look at me.
No,
that's
but
fighting words, bro. You don't bring up somebody's father.
Would you say that the way that you handled it?
That is really fucked up thing to say. I agree with George. And Mike, I love Mike. He's a good guy. I really do. But the way he glazes and defends Logan, I mean, shit, he's a good friend. I'll say that. That dude runs defense for Logan like a Super Bowl fucking defender shit. Goddamn, whatever.
Word.
I'm good with sports.
Yeah.
No, but you
don't bring up somebody's father.
Would you say that the way that you handled it from a word standpoint was mature, acceptable?
That I beat the brakes off of him?
Correct.
If he was in front of me, I would have swung at him.
So this went viral, and then everyone was on George's side, like, oh, Logan Paul, he's a giant piece of shit. Now, there are undisputed facts in there that were corroborated by Mike, that he didn't pay them for years, which alone is very scandalous and very scummy, in my opinion. I mean, it's a successful show, let alone all the advertising opportunities. The fact that he's like, feels entitled to a piece of Prime, I find odd.
Yeah.
Well, I'm confused. He didn't really specify in that clip. Do we understand, was he not paid because he was doing the show for free, or was he supposed to be getting paid?
No,
he just was getting stiff.
He was being paid in exposure.
Okay, that's pretty lame.
Yes.
That's not as bad as getting stiff for money that was promised.
No, he was just like, I'm not going to pay you because I'm making you.
Yeah, that's lame.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Might be illegal. It should be. Fuck. It's horrible. And I mean, Logan Paul's rich as fuck, and that show is making money.
There's no reason that he couldn't pay him.
You know.
I guess that makes more sense, because I thought maybe he was just skipping him money that was owed, which obviously would be a whole another level of fucked up.
Yeah, I don't think that was. I think he eventually started paying him.
Right.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
So the question is, how is he spending $10,000 a month to be on his show? I think the only way I could figure that out is Logan Paul's always traveling, and they would all travel to Logan. I remember Mike was going to come to our live show. He's like, sorry, I got to go to Miami to film the podcast.
Right.
So traveling is expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. Even beyond the flight and the hotel, you have to eat out every meal. You have to pay for taxis and transportation everywhere. It adds up fast. So Logan responded, though, and people are flipping on Georgie. He says Janko had a company credit card to cover expenses. He also said Janko was paid more than $300,000 in 15 months. He was on the podcast. Let's take a look.
Requesting recon at my switching
Making money on this show.
I hate Logan, though. Look how did this guy come back? Look at him. People
used to have
actually
sex with
bought
my body
Crypto
pillow,
Zoo.
bro.
Actually. Who are they? And how do I sell them? What's their email?
He looks so much like Woody Harrelson right here.
I need a mass marketing email list of all of the Crypto Zoo people. It'd be worth a lot of money. Anyway, go ahead.
I had to start my own show because we're not making money on this show, and I'm getting pushed out.
You made money on the show.
I can show you my books. I was spending 10 G's a month being on the show.
All right, let's talk about this. Obviously, I wasn't on the podcast to represent myself, so I'd like to clarify a few things that were said.
Very fair. Absolutely in the right there.
As well as having his own credit card, all expenses related to the show were paid for, including all travel and lodging. Obviously, George's total reimbursement came out to $20,000, $317.
So my question is this. 15 months he was on the show, apparently. Traveling frequently. $20,000 is not, I feel like that's not a lot of money for traveling, like on a bi-monthly basis for 15 months.
No, that's not enough at all.
Like we could do some rough math here. I mean, you think he's flying him? You think he's flying on business? I feel like Mike Malak flies business.
Mike probably, yeah.
You think Janko's stuck in coach?
Probably.
All right, let's do a normal airfare. I mean, it costs $500, right, from West Coast to East Coast, essentially. Is that about right? Yeah. And then let's say he's traveling twice a month. So that's $1,000. A nice hotel room in most cities is going to be like $1,000 a night, right?
1,000?
1,000 per night.
That'd be like a really nice.
That's too much in my way too much.
I mean,
Four or 500.
If he wants to stay at a nice place, 500.
Yeah. 4 or 500.
Yeah.
Hotels are expensive. I mean, we're used to Vegas. Vegas is like cheap.
I mean, unless he's staying in like a 5-star hotel every time, which I doubt. He's staying in a perfectly fine hotel.
You think he's staying at like you think he's staying at like the
Holiday Inn
Motel
Express,
6?
baby. Holiday Inn Express is perfectly fine.
I'm curious. Let's go. Hotels in Miami.
I looked into this here in LA for my family, and it's like $200 for a good hotel room.
Oh
a
shit!
night.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm way out of touch.
For $200 is a good hotel.
Yeah, these are decent hotels. $128 in Miami.
Yeah, $1,000 a month is gonna be like a luxury ass. Like,
Sorry, guys. I just had a Bill Gates rice-a-roni moment. $200.
Too much wine. Sorry.
I'm going to Miami this weekend.
$300 I see here with the ocean view. So
Yeah, like-
it seems like 300 is on the high end.
Yeah, I would say 300 for like a nice place. Yeah.
All right, fuck me. So, where was I? So we're doing the math.
You're doing the math.
So we're doing $500 plus $300 a night. Let's say, how long do you think he's there if he travels to Miami for the show? Before, the day of, maybe the day after?
3 nights.
Yeah,
3 nights?
that seems probably 2 nights.
2 nights?
At most.
So let's say 600. So that's 1,100 on travel and stay. But then the cost of like taking taxis, buying food, that's a lot.
Yeah.
$100 a day probably?
For food and taxis?
Taxi?
Way more. It has to be more.
See, I'm not that out of touch, guys.
I think it's more than $100 a night or a day, for sure. For
Well, how much?
food,
So it's like what, like $20 a meal? Sometimes
at
more.
least. Yeah.
And they eat out at nice restaurants.
Yeah.
If he's going out with them, say $30 a meal.
That's good.
It's 100 days on food. $100 on food. Let's say 150 a day spending. Transportation, food. I know that probably sounds like a lot, but
I think it could be more because an Uber across.
that shit's expensive.
It's like $60 there, $60
That's
back.
so dumb.
I think it's $120 for travel.
So it might be more.
yeah.
It might be 200.
Ubers are insanely expensive nowadays.
Dude, when I start going from my house to the airport, it's $100.
Yeah.
I said, what the fuck? I'm gonna start calling the taxis.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
taxis are cheaper than the damn Ubers now.
And the worst part, every time I talk to the Uber driver, their cut is like 10% or some shit.
Where's all the money going?
Yeah, no, the Uber's
And then
taking
somehow
like,
Uber's losing money.
I think it's 70-30 to Uber and 30% to driver.
No. Oh, I just said. But they also make a minimum wage, which it's not nothing. But I mean, no, it is close. It's not a lot, is what I mean to say.
Right.
It's not a glamorous job. How is Uber losing money? They literally just have an app. It's crazy. Anyway, we got, so if it's 1,100 plus 200 a day, so let's say 5. So I'm saying that it's about 1,600 per trip in total. Everything, all in.
Yeah.
Okay? If he's traveling twice a week for, how long did he say? 13 months? Twice a month, I'm sorry. So he said he was there for 13 months? Is that what he said?
Yep.
Really? A month?
Logan said here, or it was in the doc. Sorry, guys, I'm just doing some, 15 months, okay? So we're doing 15 times, let's say 4.2 months weeks in a month. So we got 63 weeks he worked. So 63 divided by 2, that's the amount of times he traveled. 31.5 times, that's how many weeks approximately he traveled.
Yeah.
Times 1,600, which is what we, what we estimated he spends per trip. That's $50,000.
Yeah.
50,000. It might be more if they were doing it more than twice a month, which is very possible. Because Logan lives in like Puerto Rico. I'm from George. George has a family apparently.
Yeah. And also, that's not first class. If they're flying first class, it's 10 times as much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, like, even I'd say a good estimate is 50,000.
Yes.
So that's not enough, man. Although is he also saying that he used the company card though to pay for hotel and flight? Because if that's the case, then it would be enough.
Definitely, yeah.
Let's see.
I had to start my own show because we're not making money on the show, and I'm getting pushed out.
You made money on the show.
I can show you my books. I was spending 10 G's a month being on the show.
All right, let's talk about this. Obviously, I wasn't on the podcast to represent myself, so I'd like to clarify a few things that were said. As well as having his own credit card, all expenses related to the show were paid for, including all travel and lodging. Obviously, George's total reimbursement came out to $20,317. I'd love to see any books that show otherwise, spending $100.
Wait, I think that's including what was on the credit card. I think that's what he means. Or, okay, whatever. I don't know. All reimbursements. So that means what he spent on the card, right?
No. Why would it?
That doesn't make sense.
No, I don't think so.
I'm just going to play it. I'm pausing too much. Let's fucking play it.
$20,000 a year to be on a show.
Not $20,000 a month. Somebody said $20,000 for 15 months reimbursement.
What do you want from me?
People think we're overestimating, but I'm telling you guys.
I can promise you, if Logan goes out to eat a night, he spends more than $1,000.
He definitely goes out to eat with Logan and Mike. He definitely takes expensive car rides to wherever the fuck Logan
Yeah, they probably don't even use Uber. They probably have like chauffeurs and like all this shit. It's definitely a lot of money.
Yeah.
is a little confusing.
This is a guy who's sending us screenshots of $11 million a week that he's making.
This statement is so crazy that it's almost laughable. That would mean I'm making $572 million a year.
I agree. When I heard that, I said, "This guy, there's no fucking way Logan's making $11 million a week." And what I assumed, which was corroborated by Logan, is that it was probably just the revenue that they had a really good week on Prime. And I got to imagine the margins on Prime are really thin. That's not an easy business to be in.
I'm nowhere near that. What happened was Prime had a very successful month. I think we did like 60 to 70 million, and I sent it to our group chat because I was proud of the business. I was stoked to show the boys, and I think George maybe misinterpreted that as like my personal income.
The show hit rock bottom, and we weren't getting paid. I was getting paid $5,000 a month.
But you did make a sizable amount of money on the show.
And by the way, always grateful. I was always grateful.
Something like that?
Yeah, I don't like to talk about money.
I know he doesn't want to talk money. I know he believes it out, but
Hold on, you can't be like, "Yo, I got stiffed," and then be like, "I don't want to talk about money." You know? So here we go, George Janko monthly commission summary. This guy went straight to a CPA and came for battle. All right, this is interesting.
317,000.
Okay, hold the phone, George. That's a good.
That's great.
What's happening, bro?
That's not what he said.
Even his first month, he got 31,000.
Let's not talk about making money.
Bro, what the fuck? You got to answer this one, buddy.
He did make 5,001 of the months.
Okay, so my assumption would be that maybe he missed some episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe they, clearly it's on some kind of commission basis. I don't know what. Or if it's, actually, no. I mean, revenues fluctuates. He was making money. 45,000 he made in 1 month in December.
Loading fresh mag.
Bro, what the fuck? I'm sorry.
Do you think maybe it's based on ad revenue, based on it being higher in December and January?
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like he was getting cut of ad revenue. Yeah, based on the trend. Jesus, man. How is it even possible to defame Logan Paul? Like, holy shit.
$1,000 in the 15 months that he got paid for on Impulses. The work requirements consisted of about 3 days a month, 3 hours each day, traveling the world, networking, and meeting some of the coolest people ever. It comes out to about $2,300 per hour, and he also had 10% equity of the entire show.
Oh. Does that mean he had to buy him out when he left?
Probably. Or he still owns 10.
Or he's 10% equity? Dude, that's good. For just like a walk-on nobody? I mean, that's actually hooking your homie up, for real.
You, not Caleb, not Kevin, not Dylan. Nobody fucking called me when I got fired.
George did not get fired. He quit. I'll touch on that in a second. But after he quit, I called him frequently. I reached out. I wanted to
let me read these. You coming to WrestleMania, Logan asks? Not true and no. That's what I was told. Not sure. Coming to birthday dinner at least? Missed you yesterday, Georgie. What's up, gangster? How you living? Good, Bubba. How you doing? Immensely happy and healthy. Just wanted to check in on you. Amazing, bro. Kind of passive aggressive. I mean, okay, you were checking. I don't know if that means anything. He obviously is mad at you. Somebody fucked me over and they're like, "Hey, missed you, Georgie." I'm like, okay, fuck you. I don't care.
Be like, my name is
reconcile the friendship.
My name is Ethan. Why you call me Georgie?
I invited him to my birthday party and WrestleMania and even my ranch a few weeks later. He chose not to come. He also unfollowed all the people.
Hold on, this was a pretty sassy response by George. Hold on, let me go back.
To reconcile the friendship, I invited him to my birthday party and WrestleMania and even my ranch a few weeks later. He chose not to come.
Your ranch? When did this fucker get a ranch? You know what he said? He says, "Let me know if you have a second to talk today. I want to hop on the horn." Nah, I'm okay. That is not mincing words. Jesus, he hates you.
He also unfollowed all the people he mentioned on Instagram, which is maybe why they didn't call him. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but he still does not follow them to this day.
And then on my birthday, you guys shot 3 episodes, so I couldn't show up.
The 2 episodes he's talking about, not 3, were shot 4 days after George's birthday. His birthday's on January 3rd. We shot those episodes on January 7th. We were already in Vegas signing the UFC to Prime, and as we do, want to capitalize on the location and our use of time and energy and the guests in that city. George didn't come to work because he wanted to spend time with his family for his belated birthday, which I totally understand and we even praised.
One of the things that I love about George, he prioritizes his family and friends over anything.
I got my show going, and then not only was I controlled and pushed around on Impulsive, but then Logan's making calls and directing my show. He told me that I couldn't take Celsius.
So this is the big one. Making calls, trying to make it seem like I wanted to control his show is absolutely ridiculous. As you can see right here, I was like, hey, we got to get you Prime because I saw him drinking our...
After my dentist appointment at 3 p.m., I want to go see John Wick. Bro, we got to get you Prime. Don't drink our competitor, you goose. Call me back. Haha, I have something to tell you. I found that accusation weird that Logan was calling and trying to control the show. I mean, that seems like an exaggeration. How's he going to do that if it's his show? I don't understand. If he was like, hey, don't work with my competitor, I think that's fine. Like if one of you guys was like, hey, I got a sponsorship with like, I don't know, Stussy. I'm like, you can't promote Stussy on my show. You know, that's a competitor.
And I feel like we gotta hook you up with a Prime juicer. Like he counter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He offers to. Yeah.
We got to get you Prime. Don't drink our competitor, you goose.
Save it for the show.
However, he did call him a goose, which is, I think, as George said, fighting words.
Is there a silly implied in there?
I don't know.
Goose?
A goose? I've never been called a goose.
Silly. Silly.
I like
it's
I like
patronizing.
it. Really?
You goose.
I think
You
it's
goose.
just a little silly.
Yeah. I'm being silly. I don't think it's that insulting.
Our competitor, and he told me to call him. He was filming my reaction to tell me he took a deal with the competitor. I told him, please don't film. Like, I'd like to talk about this. I hope you're joking, by the way. The truth is, I thought it was a bad look that my best friend and co-host took a brand deal with our competitor.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That was a bad look.
It was a bad look. I agree. Yeah.
That is your brother doing that.
Got him.
That's a good point, Dan. Speaking truth to power.
Without consulting me, asking me, giving us even a chance to match it before he signed the deal. Because the audience that he's building, at least at the time, on his own podcast was being funneled directly from the podcast that I was building with him. I said, hey, dude, I understand you need to make money.
Let me read this. This is good shit. This is what the kids call receipts. Totally understandable. You have to do what you need to do, and I support your decision. I respect the fact that you're focusing on your platform, and I understand you have to pay the bills. I'm sorry Impulsive isn't enough for that. Just like you're looking out for yourself, I have to do the same. My business partners and I don't find it appropriate to promote one of our biggest competitors. I'm excited to watch you build your podcast, and if the deal is up and you want to come on Impulsive, the invite is open. I'd like to talk about how to move forward with this amicably on social, because I'm sure we can avoid the lame public back and forth and handle this a mature way that our 8 years of friendship deserves. We support and
Money, the entire...
will drive, blah, blah, blah. I can't see it's covered up. Long-term success. We will always be friends first. This is just business. I'm excited to see you at WrestleMania and my birthday dinner. Love you, bro. That's a nice message. It's pretty supportive.
Entire text is right here that I sent him after our conversation, because I did understand his position if he needed to make money, but I thought it was also a little odd because he did make $317,000 in 15 months. Regardless, I did tell him I can't have him on Impulsive if he's gonna...
Yo, he fucking Back to the Futured him. That was awesome. It's like he never existed.
$317,000 in 15 months. Regardless, I did tell him I can't have him on Impulsive if he's going to take the deal with the competitor. But if after he makes the money, he wants to come back to the podcast, he's more than welcome.
Hey, man, where you're at, there's no room for you to grow. They won't let you grow. They will not let you grow.
I thought saying that to Mike was a little crazy. He's grown a lot. He has 2.7 million subscribers since we met. He's a multi-millionaire.
He's definitely not holding back Mike. No, Logan besides apparently not paying them, which I'm confused about now because they are making money, he's definitely not tried to hamper Mike's growth.
He lets Mike come on the H3 podcast and sing Dink Doy.
That's like, honestly, you know what? And to Logan's credit, that kind of is the Trump card.
Yeah, and the Logan Paul impersonator with his friends, like.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything.
Honestly, that's a really good point in favor. If Logan cared and was doing this, he would never let Mike come on the show.
That's his right-hand guy.
Or he would have been super pissed at him afterwards. And
totally.
Yeah, that's a big plus for Logie boy. for Logie the Bear. Yogi the Bear, you remember that shit?
I wrestled the bear.
Yogi Bear?
Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Duh. Someone, Wendy said, I've never heard of a $1,000 a night hotel.